Hi Oprah, my name is Sherry Methling, and I'm an energy healer and spiritual intuitive from the Chicago area. I came to Santa Barbara last year as I was slowly following and trusting my intuition and pursuing a vision that I've been having for the past few years. After having saved my money, I left Chicago and all the comforts of family, friends, and thriving business to drive across the country to pursue my vision. This is what has brought me here to Santa Barbara and to you. To give you a little feedback on myself, I actually did not set out on this path in healing. Instead, I, like many of us, went away to college, graduated, and landed a job in the corporate world. And it was during this time that I was exposed to my ability in healing. Whether it was in a business meeting, someone in passing, or a conversation over the phone, somehow my body was acting like a receiver and picking up information on their energy, whether it was physical pain, mental stress, trapped undesired emotions, experiences, or memories. I was feeling everything. Today, I am now trained and certified in various modalities in healing. However, the more I continue healing, the more I utilize my own techniques as I rely on my abilities, senses, and intuition. Before I start a healing session, I will first talk with the client to gather all the needed information required for clearing a specific area, whether that is a repeating pattern, a relationship, emotion, experience, etheric cord, or whatever is being asked. I then proceed forward by having the client lie on the table as I open in prayer, channeling into their energy and calling upon the angelic realms. From there, I start receiving information, either clairsentiently feeling, clairaudiently hearing, claircognizantly knowing, or clairvoyantly seeing, as I proceed forward in healing. During the session, I will utilize various energy healing techniques and incorporate crystals, color, aromatherapy, and sound healing, all in which have their roots in ancient history. Now for the real reason why we are here. I am proposing to you the Promised Land, a phrase that is used throughout the Bible, the one you currently call your home in Montecito, but the one I believe to be the true calling of the world. The mission is to create a place where master healers from around the world would have been gathered to teach and heal, bringing all people, countries, cultures, traditions, religions, and races together and uniting as one, collapsing all old ideas, history, and patterns of separation, and giving new meaning to United Nations. For the Promised Land is a 7-day sacred healing retreat where you would learn, heal, and transform from different healers and teachers around the world, incorporating various ways of meditating, holistic and ancient ways in healing, connecting in spiritually to God, to each other, in love, and to be re-educated on food, health, and well-being. For every culture around the world has a different system in healing, connecting into God, to Source, and to the Divine. But at the Promised Land, we have one universal language, love. That is merely the first step in uniting the world as one. After all, we are on one planet, and we are supposed to be working together to make this world better. It's time to bring to life the true Promised Land, how God had intended. Be the pioneer to lay the foundation for changing the world. Here is the plan. Taking the unfinished 40,000 square foot monastery perched high above the San Ynez River in Buellton, known as Mount Carmel, and transforming it into a sacred healing retreat. The construction of the monastery actually started over 20 years ago by the visions of the nuns of Mount Carmel. Unfortunately, the dream came to a screeching halt when funds ran out and complications grew. 20+ years later, and all the materials and tools still reside, waiting to be rebirthed into the new vision for the world to be awakened. This, I believe, is the real reason why the monastery was left incomplete and untouched for 20+ years. for it was not supposed to be a monastery, but rather a sacred healing grounds for all to come. The foundation has already been laid. Let's take the broken, unfinished monastery and rebuild one brick and soul at a time, connecting and uniting in love. The time is now, and the place is here. The Promised Land would consist of the following: circle meditation room with brilliant crystals and Himalayan salts, a number of healing rooms, a farm with animals and crops with no chemicals, herbicides, or pesticides, bedroom suites for incoming guests, one master kitchen and dining room, a library and store, a salt pool, and a yoga area outside. Now, the building of the Promised Land could be televised on national television, and the idea could even be proposed to a TV show, Extreme Home Makeovers. It would fund itself through network television. As for the healing segment of the Promised Land, my true passion, purpose, and interest, the plan would be to travel to ancient cities and sacred sites around the world, gathering the top healers and spiritual gurus and learning ancient ways in healing. Now, this also has the potential of being a TV series that could be called Ancient Healings Around the World. I took a leap of faith in coming here, for I am ready to take healing and spirituality to the next level, to bring you hope, to bring you knowledge, to bring you truth, where the Promised Land meets ancient healings. So whether you are seeking to expand your knowledge in healing, being healed, strengthening your connection spiritually, or awakening your soul to new levels and dimensions and evolving, you can find it all here under one roof, the Promised Land. I would like to introduce to you the nuns of Mount Carmel, who still live on the property overlooking their unfinished dream, the monastery. Introducing Sister Jean Marie, Sister Patricia, and Sister Mary Ann. Making headline news in the Santa Barbara Independent newspaper, December 18, 2014, the failed dream and the development disaster of the cloistered nuns. My hopes are that the nuns will get to see their dream resurrected into the vision that will unite us all in love.
When we first came down, I felt that the Lord had property for us. We had to find it. We weren't to choose it. And someone cut out all the Sunday papers and said, just 100 acres, river frontage, beautiful views, distressed property. I said, that's it. And we got it. And we got it on a $100,000 mistake from the bank, because we didn't have all the money, but the Lord provided. And we got a month free loan. I always was convinced the Lord left it a piece in there that it would be finished. And just this year, from a seer, I got the message that the monastery, my project, will be finished soon. And a week later, Sherry turns up and says, I want to see the monastery.
I was just thinking, since Sherry was going to record this, I was thinking that we prepared, we were here, our dream was to found this monastery, a contemplative community, living together in silence and solitude, prayer for the church and for anyone who needed our prayers. But it didn't happen that way. And I remember Mother Teresa of Calcutta, she once said, we're not called to be successful. We're called to be faithful. And in my heart, I feel we have been faithful to our calling as religious and living community life. But we didn't succeed in what we wanted. Sherry's dream is to have a place of healing, of love, and for people can come and find peace and love and find healing. And I thought, that's beautiful. That was our dream too, in a different way. And now that Sherry has taken this project under her wings, I hope she can find people who are interested in promoting this peace and love and healing. And we hope that we can be good neighbors to those who settle there and support them with our prayers. They will go in a new way of healing and love. And I hope that Sherry's dream will come true and draw many people to a beautiful, beautiful project that she has in mind.
I have also felt that the Lord, from the very beginning, He asked for a spirituality center. Our Lady did. and that he wanted a place where all peoples, all nations, all religions could come together, because he is a God of all, no matter what name we give him. And he wants us to find him and his peace. He is our creator. We're all God's children. He is our Father. Call him what we want, but he loves you.
Someday, people will be coming for learning how to pray, how to be silent, to appreciate nature, and to be really in communion with God in many different ways. And it is meant to be a place for everyone. It will be something that will really be beautiful, and a place of joy, love, and peace. And that is a dream, but God is in that dream, so it will be a reality someday. And it's already happening with so many people trying to help this little project to begin and to develop into something larger and unspeakably beautiful.